So this video we're going to review some different types of factoring and rules for exponents. So starting off with a hard one, what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to distribute this x minus 1. So you can rewrite it like this and then distribute it. So if I'm distributing it from there, we can't FOIL because we don't technically know what the inside is. We can't leave this x out. So we're going to distribute this x to everything. So I'm going to have x times my 3x squared plus x times my x plus x times my negative 6. And then we can't forget about this negative 1 here. So I got to distribute the negative 1 and we're just going to add it on to the end. So negative 1 times 3x squared, negative 1 times x, and negative 1 times negative 6. Now we can go ahead and multiply these and figure out what everything is. So x times 3x squared is 3x cubed, because when we multiply things with the same base, we add their exponents. X times x is x squared. X times negative 6 is negative 6x. Negative 1 times 3x squared is negative 3x squared. Then we got negative x, and then negative 1 times negative 6 is a positive 6. So we can go ahead and combine our like terms. So we got our 3x cubed sitting out front. X squared minus 3x squared is negative 2x squared, because 1 plus negative 3 is going to be negative 2. Negative 6x minus x is a negative 7x. And then we got our plus 6, and it's already written in standard form, so we're good from there. Okay, when we do power to a power, we multiply these. So we're going to have negative n to the 15. Remember, power times power, we multiply. Okay, and it's going to stay negative because that negative is sitting on the outside. So we're just applying these to each other. That's it. Okay, we got a plus sign here, so we know we don't have to change anything, so we can just combine our like terms. So negative 2x squared plus negative 6x squared gives me negative 8x squared. Negative 3x plus 3x gives me 0. They just canceled because negative 3 plus 3 is 0. Negative 6 minus 2 is going to be a minus 8, so I'm going to rewrite that like that. Okay, this one does have a minus sign, so we got to distribute it to everything. So all my signs are going to flip. So I'm going to get negative 3x squared minus 4x plus 1. I flipped every single sign back here. So combine our like terms. Negative 3x squared and negative 2x squared gives me negative 5x squared. 3x minus 4x gives me negative x. And negative 6 plus 1 gives me a plus 5. And it's written in standard form, so there's my answer. Again, standard form is highest exponent to lowest exponent. So we got our 2, our 1, and our 0 here. Okay, so when we're doing this one, we got our coefficients in the front, so our 2 and our 4, so we always multiply our coefficients if they say to multiply. So we got 8. Now we always add exponents where we don't see them. So I got x to the 1. So when I multiply things with the same base, I add their exponents. So 1 plus 4 is 5. Then 5 plus 2 is 7. So again, when I multiply things with the same base, I add their exponents. Okay, this one, I got 2 binomials, so I can FOIL. I could use a distributive property, but I'm going to FOIL. So I got my first terms of my binomials to be my x and 2x. I'm going to change colors here. So I got x times 2x. Okay, O stands for outside, so my outermost term. So I got negative 2 and x. Don't forget the negative. My inside terms is going to be negative 8 and 2x. And last is negative 8 and negative 2. Again, don't forget the negatives. So x times 2x is 2x squared. Negative 2 times x is negative 2x. Negative 8 times 2x is negative 16x. Negative 8 times negative 2 is 16. So we got to bring them all out. And if you don't know what sign goes in front, it's always going to be a plus sign. So combine our like terms, we got 2x squared, negative 2x minus 16x is going to be negative 18x. and it's written in standard form, so highest exponent to lowest exponent. So whenever I see two binomials, I'm always going to FOIL it. Okay, we got a subtraction sign in the middle here, so I got to distribute this. So I'm going to have negative 5x squared plus x minus 3. Two negatives make a positive, so it's going to be plus 3x squared plus 5x, and then this 7 is going to be a negative 7. So negative 5x squared plus 3x squared is negative 2x squared. X plus 5x is going to be 6x, and then negative 3 plus negative 7 is going to be negative 10, and it's written in standard form. Okay, when I multiply things with the same base, I add their exponents. So we got our p's here, so 7 plus 3 is 10, and 4 plus 8 is going to be 12. Again, multiply things with the same base, add their exponents. Okay, this one I'm going to simplify. So when first looking at it, I see this n to the 0. Anything to the 0 power is 1. So if I wanted to rewrite that, it just goes away. Okay, now I can never have negative exponents, so I know I got to drop this one to make it positive. So now it's on the bottom and it's positive. We can now reduce our fraction. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, and it's going to be on top because it's a regular 2. If it was 1/2, my 2 would be on the bottom. Okay, we got to distribute this 4, and there's no ones that we have to add, so power to a power we multiply. So 2 times 4 is 8, 3 times 4 is 12, so there's my answer. Remember, power to a power, multiply. Okay, I see two binomials, so I got to FOIL. So if I do my first, x times x is x squared. My outside is going to be plus 7x, inside plus 7x. And last, 7 times 7 is 49. So 7x squared plus 7x plus 7x is going to give me 14x. And it's written in standard form. Okay, so I want to simplify this. So I see something to the 0 power, so we know that's going to go away. My two negatives here can cancel, so I'm going to go ahead and cancel that too. Because whenever you have two negatives, they change to a positive. I need to drop this because I can't have a negative exponent. Okay, and when we multiply things with the same base, I add their exponents. So 3 plus 1. We got 16y to the 4th. Okay, and then we can simplify this. 8 over 16 is 1/2. It is not 2. It's not 16 over 8, it's 8 over 16. So it's going to be 1 with the 2 on the bottom to make it 1/2. So there's my answer. Okay, I got to do power to a power here. So I got to distribute this 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, I see two binomials, so I know I got to FOIL it. So first is x times 3x. That'll give me 3x squared. Remember, the only thing, if this was a 1 in front, it'd be 3 times 1. That's how we get that 3 out there. It's not a 4x squared because we're multiplying. Then we got to do outside, so 1 times x gives me x. Inside is negative 5 times 3x gives me negative 15x. And last, negative 5 times 1 is a negative 5. So we got 3x squared. X minus 15x is minus 14x minus 5, and it's written in standard form. Okay, when we multiply things with the same base, we add their exponents. 8 plus 3 is 11, and then we always multiply our coefficients, so 6 times 3 is 18. Okay, I don't see an exponent here, so I got to add the 1 so that I can distribute this 2 to everything. So it's going to be 2 times 1 is 2. Again, power to a power, multiply. 5 times 2 is 10. 4 times 2 is 8. Well, we can simplify this now. So 3 squared is 3 times 3, which is 9. And we can rewrite it. So there's my answer. Okay, I don't see exponents, so I'm going to add 1 so that I can distribute this power. I have 2 to the third and g to the third because we multiply. 2 to the third is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, so we got 8g to the third. Okay, I see 2 binomials. Again, if you can't remember what a binomial is, bi means 2. So just remember it's got 2 terms here. So I'm going to FOIL. So I got first, so x times 7x is 7x squared. Outside, 5 times x is 5x. Inside, negative 5 times 7x is negative 35x. And last, negative 5 times 5 is negative 25. So we got 7x squared. 5x minus 35x is minus 30x. And then we got our minus 25, and it's in standard form. Okay, so we got to distribute this one. So 5x times x gives me 5x squared. So that's my first. Outside is negative 8 times 5x is negative 40x. Inside, 2 times x is a plus 2x. And last, negative 8 times 2 is negative 16. So negative 40x plus 2x is going to give me negative 38x. And it's in standard form.